objectives, and integrating sustainable design concepts with the context of historically sensitive facilities. Drew has been instrumental in creating one-of-a-kind designs and has more than 20 years' experience in leading projects in the education, healthcare, municipal, laboratory design, and residential sectors. Drew will introduce us to some award-winning designs through his presentation on Rethinking Municipal Building Design for a Sustainable Future. Please join me in giving Drew a warm welcome.
Hello everyone. Listening to whenever they say 20 years that I've been doing this, and I'm like, oh, I'm really happy. And then as we're getting ready, it still reminds me of like Janet Jackson and Madonna. And yes, I'm going to rock it on stage today. And if you didn't get that reference, that means you're really young, and I'm so glad that you're here. We're all going to learn a lot today. So first, actually, if you haven't been and you're visiting our town, this is Hamilton City Hall, and this is a heritage mosaic. And if you have time, it should always be open there, so you can run across it. It's absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful modern type of building that we have, and went through a lot of heritage renovations. McCallum Sather worked on a lot of that project on the interior side. And this is a video. I think it's working. It is not. But it sounds great. If it doesn't work, you know what we do? Let's see. Tech. I wasn't a tech person at school. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about myself as we go through it. The next slide, that is part of it, but I think that Microsoft is apologizing to me. But it's all good. So the slide was a whole bunch of really interesting pictures as architects of different projects that McCallum Sather has worked on and that I've actually worked on. And people often wonder what an architect does, what is our role, and the Ayn Rand kind of killed it for us. We're this mysterious figure and people can't quite figure us out. But what happens is we're really there solving problems, and those problems change on every project. They change, and we rely on a team of others. It's not this mysterious architectural figure floating all by themselves, and that everyone kind of, there's magic when we draw on a napkin. It doesn't work that way. And that's why it's very interesting to be here speaking with project managers, and especially in the public sector. And there's some interesting facts as we move forward. And Microsoft's going to get a letter from me. Well, I'm just going to keep going. I don't juggle. I can tell you. Beneficial. And what you can't see, but I'll show you here, I created an agenda for today. Because you guys are project managers, you love agendas, and you love when your consultants bring one. Or actually, and if we get it out ahead of time, we're like even more. So I was doing an introduction, and it's totally turning into a different comedy act that I didn't expect to do. I can sing a little bit, but I'm not great. We're going to talk a little bit about pre-design and the importance of pre-design in projects. Sustainability. For 25 years, McCallum Sather has done all of our projects with sustainability. So, and more interesting for many of you out here, and this is kind of a 50-50 audience of males and females, Joanne McCallum founded our firm. So a female leading an architecture firm based on sustainability. She was really ahead of her time. So when you talk about innovation, that's kind of the whole inception of McCallum Sather was about innovation and doing things a little bit differently. I also have some case studies, and this might be a case study for like what to do when your presentation goes wrong. I have some ones about buildings, and most of those buildings all look bright. So I've got some lessons learned that I'd love to share, and then at the end, I'm hoping to get through this quick enough for a discussion, and we're totally doing a reboot. So I'm going to skip into a few more slides because I really do want to have time at the end for a discussion. Firstly, design and the importance of pre-design. So where we were in the past with design, where we are in the present. So in the past, many of our buildings were purpose-built, especially in the public sector. It was like, this is how we build a school, this is how we build a city hall, this is how we build an office. And there wasn't a lot of room for innovation because that's how we did it. Now for Hauser, we started doing mechanical engineering because our mechanical engineers kept telling us, well, this is how we do it. This is how we've done it for 40 years. And we're like, we're making buildings differently. We're designing spaces differently. The users are different. They have different expectations. So we can't keep recycling what we've done in the past. So those purpose-built buildings, which are really expensive and hard to adapt to something new, we're trying to do less of them. We're trying to be more thoughtful in how we make. And that's a term we use a lot as we're designing, is thoughtful making. And everyone in our team has to understand what thoughtful making is, because it's not just a few people. Everyone involved has to do that. Culture has changed. So often, even how businesses are run, how municipalities or different organizations are run, that culture has really shifted. It's no longer just top-down management. We have to listen to all sorts of different persons and stakeholders and ideas in order to find right solutions. Activities, I can say 20 years ago, many of the things that we designed for today were behind doors. No one saw them, no one understood them. Kids would say, I want to do this, and they had never seen it before. It was hidden behind doors. Today, that transparency exists. People can experience it, they can understand it. Also, it's made for nicer work environments in many cases because you're not working in isolation. And then designed by hierarchy and floor plate design. So often it was space planning that drove your design, and it wasn't necessarily about how people worked or making allowances for people actually working differently and progressing. No, let's go right to where I'm on so that we know where we're rocking. Please. How do you get to this page? So in the present, we try and design for maximum flexibility. So the building that we're building today, where is it going to be in 10 years? What is that use? We talked about AI in some of the earlier presentations. How will that affect that use? And then what might that progress to in the future? So certain floor heights, certain allowances for weight. We did a corporate master plan for Hamilton Health Sciences, and within that we analyzed buildings to say, can this hold this type of equipment in future? Can this type of use be used here? What other uses can be used in this building if it modifies or changes? It also helped them think about decanting, and when they're in the process of changing the use over, or they need to move into someone temporarily, what can be suited to that area? Some things can be suited, others can't be. Also, with that collaborative work culture, and the real cost of buildings. That was one of the biggest things in the present. So we talked, and one of the other speakers spoke about capital, like capital money. And it's so easy. Governments love to just hand out whackloads of money and build these beautiful buildings, but they don't think about how do we pay for them after, how do we run them, how do we maintain them, what are the costs associated with that. So one of the things that's developed for us, awesome, thank you, tech team rocks, round of applause, you guys are great. So that brings us to sustainability. So we look at sustainability in kind of three buckets, and I'm sure many of you have heard this before, but the environment, the social, the economic. So when those buckets are kind of in balance, we have our most successful projects. This is a really easy way to analyze or look at a project from when you're looking at the overall with your stakeholders. When it gets too far off on one of them, often your project is suffering in some way. So that environmental component might be how much carbon does it create? How much energy does it use? The social component is it meaningful to where it is, to the people that live around it? Is it meaningful to the people who are working on the project. And that's been a driver for our business, is we get a lot of people wanting to work in McCallum Say there because we're doing meaningful projects. Or if we're looking at a more mundane project, how can we change it? Where do we take a risk? Do we have a client that's willing to take that risk? Are they willing to build the strip mall totally off-grid? Are they willing to put the parking behind it instead of in front of it so it adds to our streetscape? We're not actually doing any strip malls, but I just use that as an example. And the economic component. Well, because we can get the money to build it, especially in our public sector, the government loves to hand that out. Well, what happens after? How do we maintain it? So is there a strategy where there might be some sort of revenue stream or a different program that can help afterwards to maintain it? I know that's not possible, and I know, oh my goodness, everyone's going crazy, because we come up with this every time. But when we brainstorm those ideas, it's very interesting, the reaction from the board, because they connect dots a little differently, often than the users that are sitting there. So it makes for some pretty exciting alliances that may not have been there before. So design drivers, resiliency and energy. So for us, like when we're looking at, there's always contracts and budgets, and I'm going to tell you we could talk for hours about contracts and budgets. Oh my goodness, and we probably all want to jump off the ladder because it's awful. But real contracts and real budgets, you need to share those. They are absolutely critical and important. People often think they're getting a deal or they're doing a good job when they get really low fees for their architects, because they're like, look at all the money we saved. This one came in at this value, another one came in at this value. Recently, and I was like, we were doing cartwheels in our office, there was a range. Your fee had to be within this range, because they knew that that range would give you X amount of effort and X amount of intelligence. Wow. I don't know how long, I think it's the first time in 20 years I've seen that in a public sector project. And if I remember what it was, I'd share it. Sophie after might remember. But I looked at it and I was like, wow. And they gave you points. So if you were at the low range, but really I think it was 1.5% difference on a very large project. So we were like, great, they actually want us to think. They really want good people working on this project. That is a fair fee. All right, we're there. Accessibility, net zero, secure data storage. These were things that kept coming up, especially with libraries and institutions. Well, where are we storing our data in the future? How does that work in? Is there a financial model that might help someone when they're looking at that secure data, and who has access to it? Research in AI and future-proofing. So we believe that the future, AI, honestly, I have no idea where all of that is going. We're using it as really interesting tools on some of our projects because we have overseas clients. The overseas clients want to walk through their building or see their building. They're putting on goggles in Switzerland and walking through the building that we're designing in Hamilton. And it's like, holy smokes. And it was the fastest project, and it's coming up in a case study, to pass through for this international company. So it's amazing what we can do with that technology and where it will go. So how can we lead? Now, this is one that was really interesting. I was at a conference in the States, and the drivers of innovation in the US are often private industry. They want to differentiate, they want to be better, it's part of marketing, it's part of their success, it's part of getting ahead of the crowd. In Canada, it was quite interesting. We were seeing net zero not coming from private industry nearly as much, but coming from municipalities, coming from specific institutions that were willing to take risk and commit to something that was a bit unknown. We were a bit fortunate because we've been doing a lot of it for 25 years, so we made a lot of our mistakes, failing our way to success. But we now had public sector saying, we need to go there. That's what our people want, that's what our community wants. So that got us on board with projects that make a difference. But now we're starting to see the metrics coming back. These buildings have lots of metrics. So they help us as we move forward. So to get there, you need to understand your program, and you need to understand real budgets. So that pre-design work, I'm going to go back to it. Everything is pre-designed now. we all work in building models. So we build all of our buildings on the computer ahead of time. And we look at all the connections and all of the pieces. We can do area takeoffs and quantities. And the constructors are just starting to catch up, but our users are now getting very savvy. How much steel is in that building? Here's how much steel. How much margin are you going to put on it? So the contractor now can't point the finger on this or that. You can go to market and find out how much steel costs. You can quantify all these things. So there will be less guessing on the construction side. It will really come down to the complexity of building something. But understanding those programs is asking questions. So when we have our meetings with our users, what is their success criteria? What are they trying to achieve? Now, every project is budget, every project is quality, and every project is time. And some people say you can't have all three, you can have two. But you can have all three. You just have to be really organized. Project managers, thank you very much. But you also have to have it very well established. Pre-design is where all of that comes out. So there can be very difficult projects. When you know that up front, you can plan, you can make allowances for it, and you have to establish really great communication. That's essential. In budgets and fees, a lot of people don't want to provide a budget on a project, and then they want you to provide fees for it. Now, the effort that someone puts into a project equates in that fee as well, and the intelligence that you're going to get out of it. So again, it's very important to write those teams. So these are catalysts for change. On the left is the Joyce Center at Mohawk, and some of you might be familiar with it. It's the largest net zero project in Canada, and like fist pump, we're so excited to be part of it, especially as a local provider of design services. So we're about 50 people in our firm, but Joanne, when we won this project, first time I ever saw a tear come down her eye, and she goes, "I waited all my life for this. This is an institution that believes in it, and we're going to be able to help so many other people." That help piece, it wasn't a job, it was doing something meaningful. It attracts and retains people to Hamilton, to this institution, to our firm. It's so exciting. It was a total game changer, and it was a game changer, I think, for all public buildings. They started to look, this can be achieved. Interesting metric for them is they're producing 20% more power than what we modeled. And there's a lot of risks, again, to model. Like, what is that? We take a building, we take the average, we try and figure out how many people are in the building, how many things are plugged into the wall, how much power is being drawn, and that drives how we design. It's not just a cool glass box. There's a lot of metrics that go behind that. So form and function and design all are extremely meaningful and go in balance. The one on the right, private industry. So that's Enders Hauser. They're an international company. They're building their headquarters in Burlington. So they did a ton of work. We did a ton of work with them, and they're like, we want to hit LEED Silver. That's our standard globally. We want to do this. We want to do that. And we're like, this is amazing. And then partway through, we're like, oh, do we do it? There's huge risk involved for us. But we're like, why aren't you guys doing net zero? And they're like, well, why would we? Like, what is it? Help us out. So we're like, would you allow us to do a study with you, tell you what it would be to get your building to net zero, so that when you're done in this facility, you're not paying for energy anymore. In fact, like, you might get a little line back on your energy consumption. Are you guys willing to do that? And they're like, we're willing to pay for the study. And we're like, okay, great. And we had something to show them, again, led by the public sector. They sent this to Europe. I think we knew we had a client that already believed in this type of work. So we were pretty excited and came back. We could do it. We could achieve it. So the story, as it goes on, is they went ahead with net zero. And they also have a target of LEED Gold now. And it's their whole company is now charged up. And they have buildings around the world. This company monitors all sorts of data associated with buildings. That's what they do. So now we're going to have a global perspective as they start to move more of their buildings forward. Again, catalyst, private sector, risk, people were brave. Valley Park, so this was totally, well, some of you are here, so of course you're the greatest clients I've ever had. But the Hamilton Library has always been one to be ahead, and we had a great presentation this morning. So when we looked at this site, we're attached to a community center. We have a knowledgeable user who shares data. They've been through this before, so they were pushing us to go more sustainable. And we're like, okay, what do we do? And then we're like, you know what? You have to go lead on this. And they're like, we don't do lead, we do lead like. And we're like, here's why you have to do lead. Almost every architect has to do lead, because lead is almost code now. So we go there anyway. But you know who doesn't? Is your builder. Your builder doesn't have to follow any of the concepts of lead, and the people who are coming after, looking after the library, they have to be responsible for maintaining and looking after that building and monitoring it and being a part of measurement and verification after a building is built. So we do lead not necessarily for us, like not for the design team. It helps drive decisions. We do it so that we get better contractors, we get better quality construction, and it's thoughtful. So I hate to say not on every project, but it keeps a lot of Mutt and Jeff off of building your project. And there's a lot more communication when you do a lead project, because there has to be. The contractor has to be talking to the designer and the architects and understand the intent of different decisions. So that's when we love it when we do lead. Yes, there's a marketing component here, and it gets people fired up, but also it becomes a teaching tool to all the people, and the knowledge transfer that can occur when you're doing that. It makes sense. Lead like is not anything to like. So it's great to commit, take the risk, invest the money, because you'll get a better product. So this is just another image where, again, these were really quick SketchUp models to understand, but what the library did different here is they had some outside partners that were working with them on it. So what did they do? They decided to invest in culture. So this is going to be an exterior art piece that's going to be part of our streetscape in a very busy area. It will be extremely fun to see how this unfolds as we go along, but it starts to change a neighborhood and how we perceive it and the impacts that occur. So the Hamilton Library, of course, and their team, we're building all of these libraries, and they learned the story of another library that we're working on in another group called Empowerment Squared. And this is where managing projects and information and data and partnerships and collaboration go global. So they learned a good project, and it was a couple of the different rotaries in town got on board with the project. And we learned about what library meant in Liberia, in Africa. So in Painesville, Liberia, it's a huge city. If there was a street light on, crime went down 80% because there was a light available after hours. I was talking daylight. So that kids could study for school and people could actually do things in the community because they didn't have consistent lighting or building. So crime went down 80%. Wow. Ironically, when we were launching the project, there was an art exhibit on the wall of photographs by an amazing local artist, and it was showing single lampposts with light in parking lots. And we were all looking at it going, wow, we're so fortunate here. So the Hamilton Library said, let's sister up, let's partner, and this will be the second library in all of Liberia. Now, that's knowledge transfer in a huge way. We were able to share how we do things here, but also that knowledge transfer to the community there. So we found a local architect, we found other users there and stakeholders who would engage. But we all had to learn something brand new. How do you design and build in Liberia? What are the impacts? How can we put water here in a public setting so that women didn't have to walk for water 3 hours a day, which was where 80% of the rapes happened in their country. So, like, the impacts are massive. It's exciting to learn, share the knowledge, and build better things. This is just another image of the inside. We had to learn different ways of dealing with air quality, different ways of dealing with mechanical infrastructure. Of course, there's solar panels on it because there's a lot of sunlight there, but their bigger deal is water. I didn't know that. None of our team knew that when we started. Water was they had tons and tons of water in their rainy season. So the key takeaways that we have in working with all of the different stakeholders, you'll see the projects, none of them really looked alike. We're not creating a brand. We're creating solutions together. Communication and asking questions was number one. When we work in labs, there are 14,000 different chemicals in labs. So what is the research? What are they doing? Labs don't fall into the building code. So how do we make these spaces safe? Also, they are huge energy users, a great engaging users of commitment. Well, when you're building better buildings, more sustainable buildings, you also work with them. So at MIT, we all nerd out a bit. They really nerd out there a lot. They have fume hoods in this massive lab building, and they didn't know how to change the culture of how people worked in the labs and the energy that they were using. So they decided we're going to have a pizza party for the lab, because they monitor everything. The labs that use the least amount of energy. So think in your head, you've got this big building, everyone's now competing for a pizza party every month, and guess how much energy they saved in a year for $250 worth of pizzas? $250,000 in energy, just because people shut the lid. So it's crazy when you engage the users and then you have the metrics to show them. Collaborate and listen. So when we're sitting with our teams, we need to listen. We need to know their success criteria. What is the driver? What makes this project meaningful? Yes, again, you always go back to the budget, the quality, and the time, but what are the other things? And what's not in the program that would make it better? We don't necessarily have to take risks, but we have to do research to understand how to get there. And often, I know in the case of the Hamilton Public Library, can you come and talk to our board? Can you help us put the metrics together? So we have to understand what are their pain points. No one likes asking for more money, but how do we frame it in a way that it's an investment? You're not asking for more money, you're investing the money in something better. Design intelligence, hire the right teams. Hire people who are really committed and they have the time in their feet to do what you want them to do. Again, when you go for the bottom fee, sometimes with the bottom fee, I'm always just like, wow, oh my gosh, how did we do that? But if you've made a time task matrix and you figured it out, we do that on every single project, then you're going to get the time you want. But be prepared if you want something different, talk about it. Be open up that scope of work and say, can we shift and move things around because it's more meaningful to the project. Don't be afraid. I mean, as consultants, we love that. We love to know where we stand and what people want. Understand the role of your team. So know what an architect does. We try and know what a project manager does. We really want to understand what are your pain points. What are the risks? Share them. I know on a project I'm working on right now, they do not want to go in front of council again and ask for more money. And if they do, they need really good laid out reasons why. And usually it has to be something that we would cause, but we're not perfect. I mean, there's no perfect set of documents. There's no perfect project managers, but good communication and honesty is where we all thrive. And the integrated design process and sustainable solutions. I can lump those together, but an integrated design process is where all minds are greater than one. No one's going to dictate, what a project is going to be or where it can go. All of those minds together are going to make way better decisions. The shift for you and the challenge is that almost all firms, most firms, are going to BIM, So we're building these models. Well, they take a huge amount of effort to build them at the onset of the project. So if the intelligence is arriving later on, if the stakeholders are too busy to show up to the meetings, and then they're changing the design after, you're changing everything. And the models are much more complex than changing a few lines on a page. You're changing every connection. You could be changing full systems. So it's very important that that pre-design work and that commitment to a project by the stakeholders, the project managers, all of that is there at the onset of the project. I feel like I'm lecturing, but I know you guys know all this, but I can't tell you how happy it makes us when it's organized and it's there in front and everyone's committed to it. The model, I will tell you, if the other architects haven't, or other design teams, we know very clearly who's not delivering. So if someone's falling behind, we know who's falling behind. The nice thing from our end, we have project managers in our office. They'll ask and they'll make the phone calls, and yes, it might feel like babysitting and they're not used to it yet, but we know who's not uploading into the model, who's not coordinating. It makes it difficult, but if there are circumstances, we can all work to it. And that's where those big rooms in integrated project delivery come in as some people's contracts change. And then sustainable solutions. They're meaningful. They're here forever, and they're absolutely essential in any project as we move forward. So I leave you with these key takeaways and tell you that I'm one of the luckiest people here. I love what I do every day. I get to work with great people. I'm absolutely never bored. Even when I get home, I've got teenagers and things like that, so like they're way more challenging. But doing meaningful work is something we all strive for. Be brave, take the risks, but you're not taking them alone. Just know that when you go into those risks and you're trying to do something better and you're trying to change it, look at what it's done. Just for us, I can say, I mean, now we have public industry taking on projects that they wouldn't even look at 10 years ago. And sorry, private industry, but the public was there first. Like, you guys were the innovators in this, and it's so interesting because the dynamic is very different in other nations and other parts of the world. So I open up the floor to questions, and I have lots of stories, and you can share horror stories with me, and I can probably top them, but...
Any questions?
Drew, you just casually mentioned integrated project delivery.
Yes.
Is that something you guys are doing?
Yeah, we do integrated project delivery. The integrated design process is kind of the start of integrated project delivery. So we've been doing that for 20 years. Integrated project delivery is kind of coming from out west and migrating, and it's not perfect for every project. You need a certain size. We're doing a 100,000 square foot facility for Procter & Gamble right now, and we're working on a school. The parts that are working within it, the team is very engaged. You have to be the team has to be willing to commit the time and be honest. So the first meeting is a little awkward, and there's sometimes rules, I don't want to call them rules. They're just ways you set things up. So you're always looking at delivering on time. That's critical. Not ahead of time, because that can impact people negatively, but on time. Starting ahead of time, perfect. This is a construction. When the sprinkler contractor gets in there before the mechanical contractor, and all of a sudden you're putting ductwork around sprinklers, oh my gosh, nightmare. Don't do it. The sprinkler contractor comes after. They're told where to go, and you can work with them a little easier, but changing full systems isn't. It's the same thing in a big room when you're in there. So people can't touch anyone else's schedule. They can only say, I have to deliver here. And then other people, everyone's involved, understanding how things arrive on time. A lot of lean principles associated with it. I just think certain projects will go there. I mean, every project's different. Like I did a ton of, when the SIF funding came down, oh my goodness. each one works a little bit differently, but, and there is no, I know like our project managers in our office, they love process. Oh my goodness, like, this is the order we do, this is coming in. It's like, projects don't always work that way. Oh my goodness, home to my therapist wife. Hello. But the contracts change for every project, and some people are definitely more suited than others. You don't want somebody who's too bossy in one of those settings. It has to be someone who's really going to listen and understand problem solving and other people's pain points. But then if someone is sitting there and not expressing themselves, it's a challenge. It is that they have to be there. But their contract is tied often to it, which is quite lovely because you've never heard people speak so passionately about what they do ahead of time when they have their money at stake. So ours is always at stake. So that's our time.
I guess there's one more question in the back.
Sorry I didn't walk to this side, everybody.
Hey there. We're a sustainable energy and building technology students, so everything you talked about is fantastic.
Oh my God, you're my people.
Talk to us after. What are some of you've been doing these sustainable projects for over 20 years now. How have you convinced people to go with like passive house design or net zero design and kind of understand that the initial expenses are worth it?
Wow, okay. That's so exciting. This makes me smile. Those are really great days. You fail more of them than you succeed. Two, I'll say, out of the gate, Mohawk College was like, this is what we're doing. We know that we're going to be a first. We know we're great. Let's all do like everyone just so how the design industry just went crazy. It was like a party trying to win this project. Hence tears afterwards. But then to get a client like Enders Hauser, for example, in the public industry, and I'm going to say Toronto Public Library, like we were freaking out that we're doing their first net zero project. They were so well. Oh my goodness, we're just waiting for the final signature. Oh my God, don't put that on Twitter, please. So we're very close. The first thing that we did for them was say, we need to do a study for you to show you that you can get there. Okay, so that's the first piece you have to convince. Now, Enders Hauser, they're all engineers, so they're like studies. We love studies. Show us a metric. Show us how show us this. Let's measure everything. And they're all over that. So that made it a little easier with Enders Hauser. But then the engineers were like, cool. Now we have to fly to Germany and present this. They're like, how do we do it? Because we know how. And they have some super leadership there. And they're always studying Kaizen and everything, and always continuous improvement. So we had a great talk with them, and then internally we were all like, how do we convince them? How do we do this? This is the work that we want to do. And Joanne walks in, and we're like, Joanne, we've been working on this for an hour, and she's like, oh my gosh, there's like 6 of you, like, come on. And after hours, don't worry about it. And she's like, well, the reason they should do it is because they can. And we all sat there and we're like, what do you mean? It's not that expensive. Look at the investment, and it's the right thing to do. That's the reason to do it. And so we were all sitting there, oh my goodness. So we presented to them saying, here's why, and we finished off with the reason you should do it is because it's the right thing to do, because you can. We can. And they said that was all they needed. They went to Germany and they told the Germans that, and the Swiss that, and the Swiss were like, yeah, thumbs up, oh, it took you so long. But they are also like way ahead. So we have all these, we look politically at our municipalities and our towns, and they're also in climate emergency, and they're all, the politicians are all passing it. Well, now you guys get to hold them accountable. You passed it. We can. We have the data. So let's do it. Here's how much the study costs. Here's how long it'll take. And here's the reasons why. And we actually equated it to the number of trees that we were And then they were like, we have to do it, look at all those trees. So that helps us a lot. But I mean, it becomes so much easier when people fall in love with it and it's meaningful work. Like it's meaningful. We get summer students who come and they're just like, oh, you were our first pick. We wanted to come here from Hauser or whatever university that they're, and we're like, great, like we're 50 people in Hamilton. You know, it may not be everyone's first choice, but like we think it's cool. And they're like, it's your projects. You guys are working on really cool projects. And you don't have a style. It's not like, you know, there's no real brand on every building. It's a fun place to work. And we actually, if you do get that movie out,
it is ready.
Okay, put it up if we have time. So I can talk during it. I could pretty, now you must be really fired up. So in our office, we did 6 months of change management ahead of time. So how are we going to work? Like, what is the office in the future for design and for engineering? This is not our office. This is part of Mohawk College. I wish, but we don't need an office that big. But our office is in 70,000 square foot heritage building, and we have 10,000 square feet in it. And we were like, how do we work? Who connects? How do we connect? So nobody has a desk anymore. Everyone, there's no real estate, as I said. There's no hierarchy in the office. You go work beside the people that you're working on projects with. Now, some days I work on 5 different projects. But I might move around the office and work beside different people all day, or sometimes they'll let me work in one spot and they come and work around me all day. And we have different zones, so quiet zones, interactive zones, desks that raise and lower. So yeah, this is part of our office. So it changed completely how we work. Now, our issue is all of our consultants and clients love coming in and working in our office. So it's sometimes hard to get a space, and we're like, what? Like, what's WSP doing here today? Or what's, again, engineering doing here? But they just want to work in the office around the team that they're working with. So the culture of how we work totally changed. Other things changed. When you didn't have a desk anymore, you couldn't store stuff. So printing went down to 80%. And in a design office, like, we love the photocopier. But people started to, like, actually really do things digitized and file it, because they had to put it somewhere. So it was like, oh my gosh, I know what so-and-so did today, or they marked it. When we had markup sets of drawings, this is one of my favorites. So there used to be like 10 sets of markup drawings on the same project. It was like, you guys would hate that, because it was totally, I don't even know how some days we all got through it. But now there's one set, because no one wants to keep it at their desk. And everyone's notes are layered in it. So as changes are being made, or before they're being made, people are up to date. So it's like, it's crazy. 6 months before, though, when we were working on that, all the directors, including myself, we lost our desks at our old office. And we were told that we no longer could keep anything at our desk. We had to be the ones who made change happen. We were willing to lose people. We had some senior people that basically said this will not work, and we let go. It was nice to talk to them 6 months later after working in the space. They were great, but they just didn't want to change. They had fear, which came up in some of the other presentations today. And there's always fear with change, but you have to be brave to take the steps. Change management, I'll tell you, absolutely is worth the investment. There are other institutions we work with that they still equate getting a corner office on the outside of the building and block the 30 workers on the inside. That's still a measure of success for them. So we have to relook at how we measure success, what we actually need. That was one of the biggest things too. What does everyone actually need? So when we went through and we did our surveys and we asked everyone, it was interesting because a lot of the needs weren't necessarily around their desk. It was more the work environment. So again, bringing meaning and understanding that our office would not work for everyone. Oh my goodness, no. But it works for us. We only have one closed office, and that's HR. Oh, and 2 really small ones, but we call them phone booths. So for the loud people like myself, go in there and make it private. Or if it's a really private call, that's really the only specialized room that It took a long time to do something so simple.
That was fantastic. Thank you very much.